Sarah Archer kind of goes over the history of Craft Horizons and the turn that the covers took from having kind of art historical approach and images on the cover to a more abstract approach to the cover. And I think that was a really interesting storyline, how it kind of parallels what was happening in the art world, in graphic design, and also in contemporary art. So I think that's a nice narrative that she put through in her story. And Williams' piece is a very, very well researched piece of research and inquiry on the history of glass criticism and writing. And to compile everything into one essay, I think, is an amazing undertaking, and I think people will be referencing that story in his writing for many years.
This issue reflects a lot of relevant topics such as gender, equity, diversity, and minorities. Also, I learned the history of glass, which I never thought about before, and interesting narratives behind artwork. So that was great. Specifically, this issue highlights something very important. I could feel the humanity, the human side of reasons why we design and why we create artwork. So it was quite meaningful.
I think American craft inquiry has arrived at a great time. Scholarly interest in craft has really blossomed in the past 10 years or so, and there are publications that address craft concerns. There isn't really a magazine that kind of falls somewhere in between, that has a serious approach that's fairly in-depth and researched, but isn't necessarily by and for academics or by and for scholars. So I think this journal is really meant to be approachable to students at every level, to people who read the magazine, perhaps people who come at it from a different perspective, people who work in the studio, and allows people to kind of discover archival gems or sort of things that they haven't encountered before in a way that's a little bit more approachable but still very serious.